on the subject of pacts with God and the devil. Just two little stories. One of them is true, one of them isn't. I'll let you guess. Part two will be in the second half of the evening. First one is bargaining with God. Every year at my convent boarding school there was a nativity play, and every year just one lucky girl was chosen to be the Virgin Mary and sing a solo. I'd been at school for 2 years and was 10 years old. I secretly longed to be chosen to be the Virgin Mary, but I knew the nuns would never give me the part because they seemed to know that I was a naughty girl. They'd given us a confession sheet to guide us new communicants, suggesting some sins that we hadn't thought of, and perhaps to give us good ideas for extracurriculum activities. Things like, I have lowered the dignity of womanhood, I have committed calumny, I have committed idolatry. None of us girls had a clue how to commit any of these sins, or even what they were, so we agreed to draw straws to confess them. And well, I drew the short straw and confessed everything. Well, perhaps that was why I was labelled naughty. Perhaps the priest broke his confidentiality, anxious about my precocious grasp of proper grown-up sinning. Anyway, I knew it was hopeless to apply for the part officially through the nuns. There was only one way to become the Virgin Mary, and that was to go directly through God. I would pray and make a deal with the old fellow. So I stayed up all night praying really, really hard. I promised that if he made me the Virgin Mary, in return I would commit one good deed, sometime in the future. Not a huge commitment, you might say, but God bought it. 2 days later, the Sister Superior summoned me to her office. God only knows why, Mary. We've prayed very hard for guidance about who should be the Virgin Mary this Christmas, but the answer we kept coming up with was you, even though we know that you are very naughty. You talk after lights out, you play netball in the bath, in a bath hat, and we know about that midnight feast on the stage with full theatre lighting. Nevertheless, after much thought and prayer, we've decided that you will be the Virgin Mary. You must at least pretend to be good. So, I did play the Virgin Mary, and part of my acting skill was that I really did pretend to be very good indeed. And I sang like a little canary. My parents drove over 100 miles to see me, and my mother cried because she said she'd never seen me looking so good and well behaved before. Even my father was moved. So God kept his side of the bargain. The strange and funny, awful thing is that I never did do that good deed, I promise. I kept meaning to, but no one ever did seem to need rescuing from dragons or Nazis. And none of the old ladies I meet ever seem to need helping across roads. I suppose I must get round to it someday.